So let's go through the gear selector there, and then we'll take the tabs across, okay? So click it back on the manual shift. That's the screen you're going to come to at the startup. So once you do shift test and enable the solenoids, shift test, that solenoid.
Shift test.
Yep. If you go over here, you'll see it automatically goes to neutral first. So whatever electronically neutral is in that transmission, that's what it's going to go to gear-wise. To change the gear up, press the up arrow. To change the gear down, press the down arrow. Go back to neutral. If you want to go into, if it's a transmission that has electronic reverse, click it down and reverse will be there.
Okay.
These are all set by what we know about transmissions. So we know what this transmission is supposed to shift like and what gear. Okay. Also in the box you'll see an auto cycle. That is, well, so before you click auto cycle, put in a cycle time.
It's a cycle time?
Yep.
1 person. Okay. 10?
10.
Yep.
And that's in seconds. So
okay, it's 5.
So you can have it at 10 seconds, 5 seconds. I think 10,000 seconds is the highest it goes.
Okay.
But if you're holding gears for 10,000 seconds, you have more time than I do.
Okay.
Okay?
هذه نعم هذه الاختبار شوف هنا أنت تعشق يدوي. أوكي أنت تختار. أوكي يدوي عشق أو رجع. اوكي لكن هذا الاوتو سايكل هذا لا كانه شغال في السياره هو من نفسه يعشق على حسب اي وهنا السايكل تايم كل نمره كم يجلس فيها بالثواني فانت تقدر تختار ثانيه ثانيتين الى 10,000 ثانيه.
It will only cycle, auto cycle through forward gears. It will not do reverse, and once auto cycle is selected, it does not go back to neutral.
Okay.
So if it's a 4-speed transmission, you select auto cycle and neutral like we've done here. If you click the auto cycle button, you see it automatically goes to first.
Okay.
5 seconds, it'll go to second. 5 more seconds, it'll go to third.
Another 5, go to.
Now another 5, it'll go to fourth.
Okay.
Let it cycle through there. Now after 5 seconds, it'll turn on the torque converter clutch.
Okay.
And hold that on.
Okay.
And after 5 seconds, it'll turn it off.
Okay.
And it'll go down. The main function of this is to defuzz clutches. You know, everything's brand new, everything's seated in. So you can set it up for about 1,300 RPMs to run at. Press auto cycle and just let it run through the gears. It will defuzz all the clutches, make sure everything's well seated and engaged. And disable the solenoids again.
Okay. Once I turn off.
Once you turn, go ahead and click auto cycle.
Okay.
See how the gear goes into a minus?
Okay.
So what you have to do is disable the solenoids.
Okay. And
either by clicking shift test or solenoid enable.
Okay. So this one.
Yep.
And go for.
And then you can auto cycle it or manually shift the gears again.
Okay.
That is just a built-in safety feature.
Okay. Then
you can modify your cycle time even while you're doing it.
Okay, let's say 2. Okay. And then let's go down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Generally on a transmission you want to give it at least 5 seconds in every gear.
Okay. Okay.
Because 2 seconds is enough to slam, hit, slam, hit, slam.
Okay.
By the time you're done for the day, you might be rebuilding the transmission again. So 5 seconds, longer is okay.
فترة قصيرة من 5 أقل شيء 5.
Okay. All right.
طبعا بدايته إذا اخترنا الأوتو سايكل بتشوف إنه ما بدأ من الإن
بدي من
صفر بحيث إذا اخترته خلاص وبدأ يبدأ 1 2 3 الرابع بعدين يرجع إلى الأول بعدين يشغل لك التي سي سي يختبره ويرجع مرة ثانية للنمر. Okay.
Okay. As we go across, and we'll do one tab at a time. Okay. The manual shift gives you 2 controls: EPC control and TCC control. Now, if we go into EPC, let's say we want to raise line pressure.
Okay.
We would just either do one of two things. We could put a value directly in.
Okay. Here.
Double click that.
Yeah.
We could put a value of like 5%.
Okay, it's percentage value here.
Most EPCs are. They're PWM solenoids. So they're pulse width modulated, so they all operate on a duty cycle principle.
Okay.
Okay?
So we can edit the value here.
Right, you can edit the value. On this transmission, the lower the value, the higher the line pressure.
Okay. So make it 25.
25, whatever you'd like to do it at.
Okay.
One thing, now hit OK. You see the amperage draw just dropped.
Okay.
So it's modulating less. Okay? You'll watch that as the TCC kicks on and off. You'll see it go from 0 to like 0.84.
This one. This one. نعم هذا الالكترون بريشر كنترول. اوكي الالكترون بريشر هنا تتغير برسنتج وبالتالي كل ما as we increase the percentage the pressure will
decline.
اوكي كل ما تزيد القيمة هذه الضغط يقل. اوكي انت تتحكم بالضغط عن طريق القيمة هذه.
It's in
اوكي كل ما تقلل البرسنتج ترفع الضغط. اوكي لاحظ انك كل ما تغير هذه على طول هذا الامبس بيتغير بناء على ادخال. اي شلون تغير هذه انك تضغط عليها تدخل القيمه اللي تبي. شوف 25 اوكي لو اقول 20 لاحظ هذه وش تصير. اي لاحظ الحين وش تصير. شوف.
Okay?
تعدلت.
So that gives you the duty, it gives you the amperage it's drawing currently. So, okay? It'll do the same thing. You can control the duty cycle of the TCC. So let's hit, I'll show you that, hit auto cycle. Do your shift test. Click it back on. Put it into 4th gear. Okay. I want you to go over here to where it says you can enable the TCC from 2 places. That or that button right there. So go ahead and turn it back on. If we wanted a higher duty cycle or a lower duty cycle, it's the same thing. We can double click and add it in or run the arrows up and down.
اوكي.
Okay?
يعني اما نغير قيمة هذه نفس الشيء هنا نغير قيمتها. Why we need to change the value?
Why would you need to change the value? If you had a 41 TE Chrysler front wheel drive transmission, the TCC operates starting in 2nd gear, not in 4th gear.
Okay.
So you may want to vary the percentage because you're looking for a specific ratio.
اوكي مثلا اوكي في بعض التطبيقات اوكي ما يشتغل التي سي سي الا في when it does work at
Second, on Chryslers, a lot of Chryslers, not just the 41 TE, the TCC kicks in at a lower gear. It'll kick in 2nd gear. Depending on the TCM will kick it on and off even through the drive cycle many times.
اوكي هذه المشكله انك على حسب النوع في الكرايسلر اوكي في شيء ما يشتغل الا في النمره الثانيه تي سي سي. اوكي فانت ممكن تغير بناء على نوع التطبيق نوع الجير اللي عندك. هذا اللي ممكن تغيره.
One other reason to do that is, let's say that was at 60%, but you're not getting full lockup in 4th gear. You may raise, because the port's partially clogged, so you may raise it a little bit more, get more pressure, it'll engage and then be fine.
برضو إذا كان عندك انسداد في خط الوقود اوكي ممكن ترفع فيه الوقود. ترفع فيه عفوا خط الزيت ممكن ترفع فيه الضغط إذا كان فيه انسداد ولا شيء في أحد خطوط الزيت. هذا اللي يخليك ترفع القيم. Okay,
Okay. So the next tab we're going to come to is the manual solenoid.
Shall I disable this? Or?
No, leave that enabled. I want to show you some stuff.
Yeah, this is the manual.
Right.
Okay.
So on the manual solenoid screen, we can take, and what I want you to do is, if you see them, these are all the solenoids listed for this transmission. 2 shift solenoids, an EPC, and a TCC. Okay? Let's say I'm in 4th gear and those are off. And I want to see what happens when they turn them on.
Okay.
I want to see what my gear ratio is. So I want you to put your arrow right there and drag that all the way over.
عبد الله هذا اللي هو النسبة المئوية للسولينويد.
لا احنا نبي نشوف السولينويد وش يصير فيه واحنا على الوضع. اوكي يا at fourth gear.
Well, no, just that gear is fine.
Okay, neutral.
Well, there is neutral.
Okay.
It just allows you the ability to slide things back and forth.
Must be running before.
It is running. I don't. Okay. But it's the main thing that it gives you is it gives you the amperage draw of the solenoid as it's operating.
Okay.
So I can see that if it's operating and it's operating at the proper amperage.
Okay.
Okay? More than anything else, that's what this screen gives you.
But now when I try to move this slider.
Here, click. Okay.
Okay.
Click delay. Move your slider. Okay. But more than anything, like I said, it gives you that amperage draw. So go ahead and hit up a gear. See how we can watch that draw off and that one pick up? So hit up a gear again. And we watch both of them apply.
كمان غير شو اسمه تغير عندي this unit AMP
Amps.
okay ampere
Amperage.
yeah
Yeah. Okay.
هذا التيار اللي رايح للسولينويد. اوكي لاحظ ان كل ما تغير
السرعة.
ايه شايف قاعد يتغير ايه يتغير ايه شوف هنا وقف بيشتغل على هذا الحين
يبحث الكهرباء اللي الامبير اللي
اي نعم اللي رايح للسولينويد.
اللي راح السولينويد.
That will automatically, when you go to solenoid test, it'll pop up.
Okay.
But this is just a review tab of it. If I don't want to see what was there before, I can click cancel or clear.
Okay.
And it clears it.
Okay.
Okay. So that is just going to, the only thing it's there to do is show you that. So data is the next screen. Now data will show you several different things. Data will give you your mainline pressure, which is always PT1.
اوكي نسجل هذه المين يعطيك المين لاين بريشر خط ضغط هذه اول واحده
You will generally see the numbers because they're electronic pressure sensors. Sometimes they'll be 0, -1, -2,
okay.
1.
Okay.
So it's no big deal on that one.
Okay.
The next one is going to be the pressure in the cooling system.
Okay.
And that's what you have there. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
The flow, and that's the amount of flow through the cooling system.
Flow the cooling system. Okay.
Yeah, it'll tell you how many gallons per minute it's flowing through there. The temperature
of which
that is the transmission fluid in the cooling system.
Okay, we will repeat that. Okay, we will scan this.
Yes.
Then repeat it slowly. Okay.
Yes. Okay.
Then this is the temperature for the fluid and cooling system.
In the cooling loop.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, and TOT.
The temperature of the transmission fluid inside the transmission.
Okay. إذن TOT شباب هذه درجة الحرارة.
You remember that
أي داخل
the thermistor that's in the pressure manifold?
اللي داخل. أوكي. اللي قبلها هذا درجة حرارة
اللي في المبرد.
And MTR.
Motor torque.
Motor torque.
That is the percentage of torque output that the motor is using.
Okay. هذا عزم المحرك. It's the motor torque, huh?
Right.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
the next one is going to be, if you notice the rest of these 7,
Yeah, it's all.
are pressure transducer 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7.
Okay.
Those are all, if you grab the end of the hoses, you will see that they're all numbered.
هنا في عندنا مثلا pressure transducer
Yep.
2 and 5 and 4
3,
3 and
6.
هذه موجودة يعطيك قيم pressure transducer.
And you have 7 on the floor.
7 here.
Yeah, 7 here.
Yeah.
And like I said, 1 is main. One PT1 will always come up as main pressure.
which is this one, huh?
Yes, that's
هذا هو
PT1.
المين.
العزم
Yep.
هذا هو المين.
تمبريتشر هذا
نشوف انه موجود رقم واحد.
هذا
رقم واحد.
هذا درجة حرارة في المبرد.
PT1. هذا ضغط الزيت الاساسي اللي داخل اوكي.
There are several transmissions that have more than one pressure tap,
اوكي.
so that's why you see so many of them.
يا اوكي.
Like Chrysler's would have, like the 41TE has 6.
واو. اوكي.
So you can actually put 6 lines, and you can look at individual clutch pressures that way.
طبعا هذه يا اخوان ليش موجوده 7؟ احنا الجير هذا اوكي في فقط خط واحد للضغط، لكن بعض الجيور يصل الى 6. مثل الكلايزلر يقول لك في 6، لازم تقيسها وتعرف الضغوط حق الكلتش.
التغييرات.
Okay.
And we have
This would be as if your cable was wired for the input speed sensor, transmission input speed sensor, or TIS.
تيست. اوكي شباب.
غير هذا فيه واحد.
في واحد بس.
Intermediate speed sensor.
اوكي intermediate
Yeah.
speed sensor. Okay, this is which for what?
Fords. Some of them actually have an input sensor, an intermediate, and then an output.
Okay.
And then this would be TOS, your transmission output speed sensor.
Okay.
See that one that's in the center of the transmission? Right there in the center? That would be your intermediate.
Okay.
See that one that has a hole in it? That would be your output.
The output. Okay.
And this design of transmission doesn't use an input.
اوكي.
هذا يسمونها الأجزاء الداخلية.
ايه هذا
سرعة المركب.
النوع هذا ما فيه حساس سرعة دخل، فيه فقط intermediate و output.
Output, yeah.
اوكي ما في CIS ما في. Okay.
Okay, that's a 4R70W.
Okay. Test profile.
Test profile. That is only if you are actually loading test profiles
Okay.
and running auto tests.
اوكي. هذا التست بروفايل، هذا اذا كان عندك ملف محمل عليه يعني طريقة اجراء الاختبار ولا شيء، تشغل التست من الملف هذا، تخلي الجهاز يقرا اوكي.
You know, so
Do we have one here?
I already loaded one.
Only one.
Only one.
For okay.
That was the one we ran earlier.
Okay.
And once you load it, and to load a test profile, you click File, Install, Test Profile.
Test profile.
Yeah, but it doesn't have one in there because it was on my USB drive. So,
Okay.
so go ahead and click Cancel. So that would be how you'd load it, and then once it was loaded, you'd click the Auto Test button.
Okay.
Okay, and it would automatically start the test like we did earlier.
Okay. Yep.
The A, B, C, D, and E, those only work with the auto test feature. Okay.